Welcome to Imagine It down here at Imagination Station, joined once again by Chief Scientist Carl Nelson. And Carl, this might be the most eclectic smorgasbord we've had on the table in a while. I see ping pong balls, cherry tomatoes, and dice, and that's just on your side of the table. What are we doing today?
We're going to talk about density.
Okay.
Density, this is a basic concept. Density is mass per volume. And the simplest example I could think of would be two water bottles, one that's empty, one that's full. They have the same volume, but vastly different densities, right? All because of the mass inside. And so with this concept of density, I think a lot of times you think about solid things. I wanted to do it with liquids. So I've arranged a very eclectic collection of substances, and we're going to make what's called a density column.
Okay.
We're going to see if we can float these liquids all successively on top of one another.
And successfully.
Yes, I knew that was coming. Okay, so what I've done first is I put a little honey in the bottom of these two vases. Honey is, if you've ever worked with it, it's very sticky, it's very viscous, it's actually quite dense.
So nothing's probably going to get through there. That's kind of your base.
Oh, and you hit upon exactly what I'm worried about. If we were to just take the next thing, like our corn syrup, and pour it up here, it's going to fall with sometimes enough velocity to mix the two together.
Yeah.
So if we want this to look really attractive, I want clear distinctions between each liquid. There's a couple ways we could do it. One, I'm going to try just tipping my jar and pouring down the side. We're going to see how that works. I bent this spoon for you. A little ladle. I want you to try pouring onto the spoon, and let's see which method works better.
Interesting, all right.
So our first thing, we're going to work from the outside in. We have the honey to begin with. Our next liquid will be the corn syrup.
Okay, just pour some on here?
Yeah, just see how well that technique works. I'll just try pouring it down the side and see if that keeps them separated. Oh, actually, stick the whole spoon right inside the vase.
Oh, just like this?
Yeah, push it right down in there. Yep. And then pour on top of the spoon.
Oh, well, already messed that up.
No, that's okay. No, that'll be fine. Here, just flip her. Flip it like that. That'll be okay.
I want to make sure that it's slow.
A little bit will be okay. There's some latitude here. Now go ahead and take your corn syrup and pour it right onto the ladle.
Okay.
I didn't explain
the whole
that
thing?
to you. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I didn't explain that. So
I was going more subtle here, but
No, yeah. Just pour it in. We're just trying to slow the flow down.
it breaks it. Yeah.
It breaks it. Yeah.
All right.
And so while you're doing that, now initially there will be some bubbles in all these liquids, but over like an hour or so, those bubbles will float away and we'll get a nice separation. So that
kind of looks like an amber, like a mosquito trapped in amber sort of thing.
Yeah,
right
that
now
looks pretty good. Okay, let's go right. Leave the spoon in there. Let's go right to the next one, which is whole milk. So I'm just gonna try to pour down the side here and see how well this will. Try to go slow.
Looks like it's already on the surface. That's good news.
Yeah. Now, so each of these liquids, as we go down our line, has a smaller and smaller density. They're becoming lighter, if you will.
So in theory, these should stack up well.
They should stack up well. And here, let me lift this up. That looks like that's a nice...
Kind of looks like beer, let's be honest.
It does, at the bottom it does. Okay, our next liquid will be Dawn detergent.
All right.
So just regular old...
We're not making elephant toothpaste today.
We're not making elephant's toothpaste, that's why we have a lot of this. So we'll just gently pour that down. Now it's interesting that we're mixing or pouring the detergent on top of the fatty milk. I wonder if you let this sit over
repelling
time,
sort of thing.
Well, if the detergent would sort of start to break down.
I feel like on my side, mine's mixing a little bit more with the milk compared to yours.
And there's a little mixing going on, but it's.
We're trying to raise the spoon at the same time so I don't break the plane.
And these are all great techniques to point out. And so after the detergent, we have some cooking oil.
Okay.
So we'll just add that on top. And so you can try this in all different size containers. We're using a fairly large container here, and it probably should be said, you're not going to drink this or do anything. Consume it,
Carl. I'm not
way.
drinking it.
All right, that's looking really good. Now let's go. I've added some food coloring to some rubbing alcohol.
Safety orange.
Safety orange, just to add a little bit of color to our column here. And I'm getting a little bit more brave. I'm pouring a little bit faster. Let's see if this stays separated. Looks like it's going to. Nice. Yours is looking really good. And our last one, this is definitely why you're not going to want to drink this. It's lamp oil or tiki torch oil. Very, very light, essentially like kerosene here. And we'll add this to the top. And if you try this and things get a little bit messed up and they get mixed together, just let it sit for a while. The densities should work themselves out and we should separate things. Let me see if I can get this up here. See, my
a little splashy here
my
just
top
because it's at
layer.
the top. but-
Yep, and mine did the same thing. It got a little splashy there, but other than that, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers, 7 different fluids, all separated simply because of their density.
I think that's going to work.
Nice.
There we go.
That's okay. It's a mess. This is messy. It's be prepared for
Science
mess
is messy.
if you do this. Yes, but definitely over time, these will clear up and it'll look great.
And it's interesting because there's a little more separation, it seems, in yours, at least more bubbles, probably because you were pouring it.
I was pouring.
It had
Yep.
more of the bubbles here. And
Yours
while
is-
this is flatter, you can still see a more distinct, like the little ripples being made once the bubbles are being popped
Yeah,
within
once-
it. You can almost see ripples in between the layers there.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
And you mentioned too. I forgot. This is the cool part, right? Drop a cube in there. Drop a cherry tomato. And a ping pong ball for the top.
Yeah, we know that's not going
So
anywhere.
check this out. The cherry tomato stops around the
dye is
detergent,
all down here.
and the dye is down here in our corn syrup, and it looks like it might even be falling towards the honey. Again, all because these objects have different densities. So they're going to find the layer that has the density that's close to theirs.
You look like you're trying to be those parfaits that you just get the
It does.
Do not eat.
Do
or
not eat.
drink.
Do not eat. This is purely science.
Well,
But
it
just-
explains why you had all the stuff over there. That
exactly.
makes more sense.
I almost forgot, but there you go.
Really cool
Density
stuff.
column.
All right, multiple layers to this episode, folks. I'm Dan, that's Carl, and that is how you imagine it.